When Languages Start to Rot is a poem that explores the idea of language decay, where words and meanings begin to lose their potency and significance. It's a reflection on the fragility of a language and the consequences of neglect, abandonment, or disuse. When languages start to rot. When languages start to rot like food gone bad, the letters curl, the meanings turn to moldy sand. The verbs spoil mid-sentence, their tenses lost. The syntax crumbles like a structure tempest tossed. The words that once conveyed with precision and with care now gather dust, and meanings are hard to share. The phrases that once flowed like river's gentle stream now stagnate and congeal like a winter's icy dream. The idioms that once sparkled like a diamond in the sun now dull and fade like a flower that's been undone. The language that once sang with a melodic voice sweet now grates and jars like a discordant note that repeats. The words that once connected people, places, and things now falter and fail like a bridge that's lost its springs. The language that once bridged the gaps between the heart now widens the chasm and tears us apart. The meanings that once resonate like a drumbeat in the night now echo with a hollow sound that's devoid of light. When languages start to rot, the culture starts to fade. The history and heritage, like a canvas that's frayed. The stories that once passed from generation to generation now gather dust and lose their narrative foundation. The language that once wove a rich and vibrant spell now unravels and unravels like a thread that's lost its knell. The words that once inspired like a work of art divine now gather mold and lose their creative shine. The language that once lifted the spirit and the soul now weighs us down like a burden that we can't control. The meanings that once soared like a bird in flight now crash and burn like a plane that's lost its light. The language that once flowed like a river's gentle stream now dries up and withers like a desert's arid dream. The words that once connected people, places, and things now isolate and disconnect like a heart that loses its wings. The language that once sang with a melodic voice sweet now falls silent like a song that's lost its beat. When languages start to rot, the identity starts to fade, the sense of self and community like a picture that's displayed. The language that once reflected the culture and the soul now distorts and disfigures like a mirror that's lost its role. The words that once expressed the deepest of emotions now struggle to convey the simplest of devotions. The language that once thrived like a garden in its prime now withers and dies like a flower that's lost its time. The words that once bloomed like a rose in its full might now wilt and perish like a plant that's lost its light. The language that once grew like a tree that's strong and deep now decays and crumbles like a stump that's lost its keep.